Hello YouTube family, James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. Sporting one of our Kilroy shirts today with the pocket. And a shout out to James G. Kilroy. So, this is more of the bolt gun bill. And I know I haven't showed this before on my channel. So, it regards making your own dowels. Now, depending on what wood it is, if it's a common wood, like we know part of this gun stock is American walnut. Now I've got a big pile of dowels, I put them back up there. Rather than make some, because I did match the color, as far as, you know, they're pretty same. Now if you've got woods that, like let's say you've got some dowels that are really old and they may be faded, again, depending on how you store your stuff, your wood, it can affect it. And me in the Southwest, I know all about how sun can damage things. And trust me, UV light in the state of New Mexico, or in the Southwest period, destroys stuff. So I keep my dowels put up out of direct sunlight, so even when the garage door is open, they're not in direct sunlight. So what I did, rather than make some out of some of the walnut, because I always save the big chunk pieces in case I need something for, or a sliver or whatever of the same product. But you know, I've already got them, I matched, so rather than make 6 little short dowel pieces for these bottom screws here, and I'll go ahead and show you, we'll go ahead and glue those in real quick, and I'll show you how I do the end ones. And I've already started, I thought, you know what, I need to do a video on this because you haven't seen it. For all my woodchucking viewers out there, you guys will love this. And you probably already know about it. So, we'll zoom in a little bit here, and you can see we've got it up. These are the 6 holes. Now, I already put those up too. The screws that I actually ended up using here were actually some Craig jig screws. For those of you that aren't familiar with Craig jig, look it up. It's a handy little setup. But I just used the screws because they're a good shoulder type screw, and they've got a flat bottom. They're not curved or anything. And I've got a bunch of them because I'm a big fan of Craig jig. So we'll go ahead. We're still using our tight bond. And you know, I always store my stuff upside down so it doesn't, you know, this bottle's getting down there. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. Just, it doesn't take a whole lot of wood glue. It really doesn't. And you really have to be cautious about overfilling, because a little goes a long way. We're going to put a little bit in each hole here. Again, this is the fast setting. Probably add a little bit more of that one. Okay, yeah, you don't want to get carried away with the wood glue and have a lot of it squirt out from around stuff. So add just a little more of that one. It's easier to go ahead and add it back than to do too much. Okay, I know those holes are a little bit deeper there. So yeah, we used our there we go. We ended up using our, still got our drill guide there from using our doing these yesterday, 3/8 bit. So we went ahead, cut them off. I have these, you can get them at hobby stores, nothing fancy, they're small little hobby saws. That's what I use to cut my dowels with. There's no name brand or anything on it, and you can see the teeth. Okay, this is a pull saw because the teeth are all faced backwards. So how I like to do my dowels, again, we're going to be doing sanding and stuff on here, is I'll put them in and I'll twist them a little bit, get a little bit of that glue spread. Or actually, this is where I keep Q-tips in the shop for stuff just like this. Spread it around a little bit in the hole. There we go. If we have to add more, we can. There we go. Spread it around in the hole. Get it started. Tap it in. It's that simple. Nothing super secret, scientific. And we know we're going to have to do some sanding on this to get these as desired. Go ahead and do all these while we're at it. Spread it around. Get that trash. Now you want to try to cut these as straight as possible, because then you'll end up like that. That's got a little bit of a dip So if anything, you probably want to leave them a little proud, and I got carried away on that one. So we'll leave this one a little tall. So if it is cut at an angle, leave the lower portion flush. I got carried away on that one. I may have to redo that, and if I do, it's just a matter of drill it out real easy. Get another one. Just like that. And we'll let these set for several hours before we do anything with them. It's going to be a couple days before we do any sanding, so everything will have a good amount of time to set up. Alright, so we're going to leave those up. We're not going to mess with them. We're going to let them dry. They'll probably dry for a day or so before I do it, or longer before I do any sanding. Now on this side here, we'll go back to our, oh, that's a good angle. Okay, our space taking up, set up here. Okay, so that when our clamp it works, we're using our clamp, it works equally. Alright, now, let me back the camera up here. I'm going to get you guys right over here on top of this. You guys are going to get a real close-up view. Might be too close. Nah, there you go. That way I can see what's going on. Okay, so to demonstrate, you can see, and this is a downfall at times of using wood bits or drilling into end grain. You can see that this hole is not round, okay? Alright. I put my finger, you can see it's not round. It's supposed to be 1/2 inch. And when you drill into holes at the end, and I'll just use this clearly as an example, you can see it's not round. Okay, it's supposed to be 1/2 inch. It's a little larger, not a showstopper. You can see, and it did the same thing here. That's the problem when you're doing hand drilling into end grain. Bits tend to kind of walk and wobble before they go down. Even though I used a drill guide, it still wants to do it. So I've taken some of this, split it off, just to chunk off the main wood. Okay, nothing fancy, got one piece over here. And what you do is, because you know it's not going to be round at the top, but it needs to be round at the bottom. So what you do first, actually, I'll do this. Let me go and cut this down here. This is where the saw comes in handy. Okay. I'll show you guys, I'll cut this way. Okay. This is where having a carving knife comes in handy. And I'm doing this left-handed, so it's weird, so that I don't hit the camera. If it was right-handed, I already broke through it. Okay, we don't want to. Alright, so there we go. We got that. Now, back over to here. Now, what I'm going to do is start off at one end, okay, relatively round. Now, I know this end is bigger, okay, and is going to fill up the voids. So what we're going to do on this end is we're going to take this end here. I'll back you guys up so you don't get too close, so you can see what I actually see what I'm doing. I'm always concerned about wanting to make sure that you, the viewer, can see what's going on here. So, now they've got gloves and stuff for doing this, but I'm a big fan of the flex cut whittle knives, okay? So we've already decided we wanted to use, let me make sure here I don't get twisted it in my hand a few times. Make sure I'm not missing, or was it this side? Okay. Alright, make sure we're thinking correctly. Okay, so it is this side we're gonna drive in. So just come in first, and you don't want to put your thumb directly over. People make a lot of mistakes like that. Okay, this is what I always do. Come in here, and we're just gonna slowly rotate it. You keep your thumb to the side. Don't ever go straight, because you are gonna slice the hound out of it. Trust me. And this African mahogany, this stuff actually carves pretty easy. Now we're only doing one end of this, okay? Because this wood is, you know, relatively soft. Now we're gonna try try to round on these here. Just work it into it. Now they have bits you can get to drill into to create your own round plugs. But if you don't use them very often, like me, if I was making plugs all the time, then I'd either have dowel or the material for, like for example, Babinga. You're not going to get, or at least that I know of, Babinga or say Purple Heart or Yellow Heart or whatever is out there, or even tiger wood or palm wood or different types of wood that's out there. They're not going to have dowels for those. And if you're doing lots of high-end custom woodwork, then yes, invest in those bits so you can create your own dowels for the same wood. However, if you're using common woods like ash, poplar, white oak, red oak, walnut, I think they even have, they have regular pine, it's easier just to buy the dowels that way. But when you're working in oddball woods, or let's say you have some Mexican ebony that, they have some down there at World of Wood. By the way, Albuquerque Exotic Woods is changing their name to World of Wood. Now I've got one of their cards. I didn't have it with me. It's in the house, but they are changing their name to World of Wood. They're going through a branding change. Still the same company. They're getting a new website updated. So they're actually getting something that's more, not just specific to, and they are actually talking about opening up other locations around the world. Correction. Nationwide. There we go. Pardon me, I've only had one cup of coffee. I'm not totally awake yet. So, anyway, you just work around one end. You guys can see I'm just rotating it. And what I'll do up here shortly is I'll, the human eye is actually surprisingly pretty good at judging dimensions, for approximation. So we're just coming around here, creating it. And I know this hole is somewhat oblong, okay? And you come over here to the top and you test, okay? Because I know this hole ended up being shaped kind of irregularly, okay? So we're getting pretty close there, because I'm going to use similar woods, and I made sure that when I cut this, it was from the end grain, because it's going in end grain, okay? So you can see end grain, didn't matter, just took a chisel, tore a piece off, nothing fancy. This is why you always keep scrap pieces of your working woods around on your projects for stuff like this. And you just go through and you fit it all the way around. You get a good, you don't want to jam it in there too tight and split it, just like we talked about pre-drilling on the other video when we pre-drilled all of this stuff. You want to be able to get it fit relatively close. Again, I'm not a super professional woodworker out there by any means. Believe you me, there's a guy I always like watching, Tommy Mack. I watch him live on Facebook. It's pretty cool. And I really like watching Tommy Mack. He does these live Facebook with his phone, and right now he just got through building this desk, and I guess he had started, so from what I understand, he started this thing like 5 or 6 years ago. He just decided to finish it up. He's going to be building a new shop. That was the last piece of furniture he finished in his old shop. Real big fan of Tommy Mack. You guys probably see him. He does or has done stuff for Woodworker, and I forget all sorts of, for Powermatic and all sorts. You guys that are the woodworkers, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so yeah, he is someone that I really enjoy watching. I've learned a lot from watching his stuff. He builds beautiful furniture, so trust me, I am not a super professional woodworker. I am not even a scab on Tommy Mack's thumb. I'm not even a callus on his thumb. That guy has some amazing talent. Some people just, they have a knack for it, and they could do it in their sleep and their dreams will look beautiful, and he's been doing it a long time. So I really enjoy watching him. He's always doing like live feed stuff throughout the week on his Facebook, and he'll do like stuff on Tuesdays, and you know. So, huge fan of Tommy Mac. Like watching him, learned a lot. You know. So we're just going to go through here. This is just being slow and patient. I'm just showing you guys how I do it. There's different ways. You know, you just follow the trial and error. Okay. I think I'm going to take a little bit off that side right in there, because I want this to be able to drive down, but I don't want it to split anything. And everyone there's so many different ways to do things, it's not even funny. I'm going to fit it, there we go, that's how I'm fitting it. I'm into fitting this wood into this hole. There we go. Okay, close enough for what we're doing. Try to get the camera down there. So now, because it has a weird shaped top, so we do want to drive it in and make it create its own. Again, you don't want to split the wood, and I've got my hand on it, and I can feel it swelling right here. So, yeah, I can feel it kind of swell just a little bit. Okay, this one I've already got in. You don't want to get carried away. And you got to watch. Yeah, again, that's why you want to use the same wood so you don't split anything. Okay, so we've got that in. Pull up just a little bit on it so it doesn't pinch the blade. Okay, there we go. Same thing, this side. And I'm not staying flush, I'm coming up a little bit because I want to sand down too. Okay, that way you don't accidentally gouge into the end and cut down. So you hold your thumb up there, you can kind of get it up about a 1/16 or so above. See, when it doesn't cut straight, it wants to, yeah, being a little cantankerous. It's alright, we'll just work it around this way. Sometimes you get a little twist in the blade and you don't realize it, and it pinches. There we go. Okay, so we've purposely left it proud on purpose. And we know there's a little bit of imperfections or whatever, but as we get this down, if there's little holes that happen to appear, and I'll show you guys, I'll bring you in closer here rather than try to zoom so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, and I will zoom in a little bit so you can see here we have a little bit that could possibly be a bit of a hole, but that's why we keep this around, because we can create little slivers and drive down in there and fill those, and we will sand down toward all this. Same thing with these. Now these are driven in, there was already a little glue in there, and so they're in, they're not going to come out. All these are is for filling the holes on the end of it. And I've had some people ask about, hey, what does it look like so far? I'll go ahead and move the camera back and give you guys a sneak peek kind of what it looks like. Again, there is a lot of work still to do to this. This is my method to the madness. I still have a lot of work to do with, you know, we're sanding again. So not only did we, and I chose to do this, I talked about this before, instead of doing just a butt joint with an accent piece, which you can do, but all it's going to be held in is by the end. And I thought, I want to do this different. Just why? Because And so we went ahead and we were going to bring it back, and we had to end up bringing it back a little further because we had, and you can see, you can't see it now because it's gone, and we remote, because we had an end mill grab and pull into some of the wood. And we've already got this, you know, with a ball end mill. We've made several passes. Okay. We've still got to go down and end up going the whole length. This, again, that piece that's in there, it's going to be glass bedded in and sealed. And then there's going to be another section when we go to glass bed the mag well and stuff in. That's going to be separate. We still have to remove a lot of wood right here. Okay, that's got to get nailed out because we're going to have, this is going to be thumb hole stock. We've got the cheek well wood or the material and stuff going there. I've got to put the wood on that brace. We've got the hardware in for the butt stock. Again, we've still got to profile all this. And then we still have to do it, and I hadn't done it yet. I hadn't decided where I want it. But we're going to have the insert for the monopod, and that's going to come in here. That is not a showstopper. I wanted to wait till I got this other done and the position of the thumb hole stock. Again, we're going to have, for those of you who aren't familiar, you can Google it, pictures. We're going to have a thumb hole stock here, then traditional, and we are going to do some checkering around the grip for the thumb hole. Okay, this is a right-hand rifle, so it's going to be contoured as such. Okay, and the reason for, instead of a traditional reach around like this, because this is primarily a bench gun, so if you got your thumb hole through there and you need to adjust your cant, and the cant on the gun is it canted to the right or to the left, so that way you can adjust and you can have a firm grip on it to adjust the gun. That's easier than, you know, doing the traditional grip. And so again, there's still a lot of work to be done here. This is really, really rough. It's slowly coming along. You know, we've still got material taken down the outside. You can see from the handling, you know, it's got the handy little oily marks and whatever. All that'll go away. So there you go. There's an update. I just figured I'd show you how I do doweling at times on specific items. To show you guys again, if you didn't catch it, you can get these, and you can actually, they come with different length blades, and that is a pull blade. I don't know if the camera will show it up or not, but you pull. There's a little adjusting handle. Pick them up at a hobby shop. I think this one came with 3 blades, and they're over there, less than 20 bucks. And then the flex cut knives, that is razor sharp, and that is like, and I've got some others that are made that are contoured and used for, and I will use them for if I have to do any by hand, or let's say you don't have the mill or whatever, they do have knives. I love them. I've showed them before. I'll show you guys real quick since we got a little time left on the camera. I'll show you what's in my box as far as my wood carving, because I've had people ask. So I'm going to go into this. We don't show you this box too much on camera. So here we go. Here is a box full of woodworking tools, but the ones that I'm talking about that are uniquely shaped, and they are razor sharp. Okay. Eric Frost, Morris, Sweden. These are Eric Frost knives. Okay. Razor freaking sharp. Okay. Blade on both sides. Blade on both sides there, and then I've got a third one. And I am very, very, these have their own unique little spot where they sit in the drawer, so that, and when I open this drawer, I am ever so careful. And there's the one that I ended up putting into my hand at one time by accident, a small side skew. And then there's this one right here. Okay, here's another one. Eric Frost, Sweden. Now it's just sharp on one side. As you can see, the side I have my finger on is the blunted side, but that, for getting in, carving little areas, yeah, works great. Drawer full of goodies. Old school knives. Osborne and Sons, that's a good handy knife for skiving knife for doing leather working and stuff. It's sharp. It is razor freaking sharp. And so for doing, you want skiving, you guys can Google that and find out what skiving is. So this is the drawer with my woodworking stuff that I use. Here's a 2 cherry saw that I like using. Small little saw for different things. Okay, depending on what you're needing to cut in a unique area, You can get in there, flush cut certain things, whatever your desire is. So that's kind of a peek into the what's in my woodworking drawer. I need a bigger toolbox. Don't we all? So there you go. Like I said, I've said before, Albuquerque Exotic Woods. Their website is now www.worldofwood.com, but if you put that in, I believe it will do a redirect. And so they do a 10% veteran-owned business. Their website, I know, I haven't looked at the new website in a couple months, but they said, you have any questions, guys, call them. They give discounts over the phone. They'll show you pictures of whatever piece of wood you want and send you that exact piece. Yeah, they'll use a stock photo, but if there's something in particular you're looking for, I know my personal experience with some wood sellers on eBay, they'll use a stock photo and they'll just throw any old thing in. This guy, because he's a veteran and he really wants to make sure everyone's happy, he will send you, okay, depending on what type of wood you're looking for, what your project is, basic dimensions, he'll send you pictures, talk on the phone. You pick out the exact piece of wood. You get it. If you're not happy with it, he said he'll make it right. You know, he'll even pay for the shipping. He wants to make you happy. I don't know of too many companies out there that have that kind of one-on-one that want to make sure you're happy. My personal experience with a couple of wood dealers on eBay, sorry, you know, you get what you get, tough luck, you know, and so I won't name them because they're not even worth talking about other than, you know, and it's sad because there's a lot of good people out there that really do try. There are those businesses out there that are just, you know, they're not even worth your time. So this guy's local, 10% discount, even on the internet, phone, call them, talk to them, they give it to you. So there you go. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, this is woodworking base today for all my woodchuckers out there. And you know me, I'm always showing new and different things, and I know I hadn't showed this before, so there you go. Public email address, eagledustoff37@gmail.com. Positive comments are encouraged. All others, please don't bother. So there you go. Looking forward to the Summer Bash. Stan Zakaski, Shed on HKW. Go check it out. June 26th, Rancho Cucamonga, RSVP. Also got hotel rooms. I don't know if they're all picked up yet. I know there was 25 slots available. Last I understood, they were almost all gone, but it's resident room ins. Great super rooms. I'm going to be there 2 or 3 nights, I think, in the area. So, you know, I went ahead and got a room, which I do anyway, because I drive out from New Mexico, from Albuquerque, straight out on I-40 for me. I usually take 2 days just because I enjoy the drive. So, but anyway, looking forward to see you guys and gals there. Lots of stuff going on, lots of sponsors, great tools. Gonna have a good time. Make sure you hydrate. And I'm bringing lots of neat stuff out for buy, sell, trade, swap, all that good stuff. Make sure you bring cash money. That's the easiest thing to do the transactions. Going to be other people there doing the sell, trade, swap thing. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Public email address, eagledustoff37@gmail.com. Take care of yourself and take care of your family, because remember, at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Till next time, YouTube family, you guys be safe, wear all your protective equipment, and get out in the shop and do something. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.